What's up, hustlers? It's your boy, KXNGOGRSA, back with another video to help you crush it in the business world. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that keeps a lot of entrepreneurs up at night: why startups fail. And trust me, I've been there. You pour your heart and soul into an idea, you're working crazy hours, but sometimes things just don't pan out the way you planned. But don't sweat it. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 5 reasons why startups crash and burn, and more importantly, how you can avoid becoming another statistic. So grab your notebooks, let's get this bread. Look, I get it. You've got this killer idea for a product, and you're convinced it's going to be the next big thing. But here's the thing. Even the most innovative, groundbreaking product means nothing if there's no market need for it. It's like trying to sell ice to an Eskimo in the middle of winter. It just doesn't make sense. You see this all the time with startups. They fall in love with their product, they spend months, even years developing it, perfecting it, but they forget the most crucial step: validating the market need. They skip over the research, they don't bother talking to potential customers, and they end up launching a product that nobody wants. Remember Juicero? That $400 internet-connected juicer that basically squeezed juice pouches that you could have squeezed with your bare hands. Yeah, that was a prime example of a solution looking for a problem. They had a fancy product, but they didn't stop to think if people actually needed a $400 juicer in their lives. Spoiler alert, they didn't. And that's the lesson here, folks. Don't be like Juicero. Before you even think about building a product, validate your idea. Talk to your target audience, understand their pain points, and see if your solution actually solves a real problem. Because trust me, building a product nobody wants is a surefire way to burn through cash and end up with a failed startup. Remember, you're not just building a product, you're building a business. And a business needs customers. So before you get caught up in the excitement of your idea, take a step back and ask yourself, does this solve a real problem for a real group of people? If the answer is no, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Conduct thorough market research, analyze the data, and understand the trends. Validate your assumptions and make sure there's a genuine demand for your product. Engage with a focus group, gather feedback, and iterate on your idea. This way, when you finally launch, you'll have a product that people actually want and need. And that's the key to building a successful business, solving real problems for real people. You know that saying, cash is king? Well, in the startup world, it's not just a saying, it's the gospel truth. Cash is the lifeblood of your business, the fuel that keeps the engine running. You can have the best idea in the world, a killer team, and a product that's flying off the shelves. But if you run out of cash, game over. It's like having a car with no gas. It doesn't matter how great the car is if it can't move. One of the biggest mistakes I see startups making is overspending, especially in the early stages. They get caught up in the excitement and start spending money like there's no tomorrow. They lease fancy offices, hire a bunch of employees before they're needed, and blow through their funding like there's no tomorrow. It's like throwing money out the window. And then, before they know it, they're staring down the barrel of a cash flow crisis. The money dries up, and they're left scrambling to keep the lights on. Look, I get it. It's tempting to want to go all out, especially when you're riding high on the excitement of a new venture. The thrill of launching something new can make you feel invincible. But trust me, starting lean is not just a good idea, it's essential for survival. It's about being smart and strategic with your resources. Every dollar you spend should be an investment in growth, not a drain on your resources. Think of your money as seeds. Plant them wisely and they'll grow. That means being smart about your expenses. Create a budget and stick to it. Know where every dollar is going. Do you really need that expensive office space right now, or can you work remotely? Remote work can save you a ton of money. Can you hire freelancers instead of full-time employees? Freelancers can provide flexibility and reduce overhead costs. Are there ways to cut down on marketing costs without sacrificing reach? Look for cost-effective marketing strategies that give you the best bang for your buck. Remember, every dollar you save is a dollar you can invest back into your business. It's about making your money work for you. So be frugal, be resourceful, and make that runway last as long as possible. Stretch every dollar to its maximum potential. Because in the early days of a startup, cash flow is everything. It's the difference between thriving and just surviving. Chapter 3. Teamwork makes the dream work, building a squad you can trust. Let's be real, building a startup is not a one-man show. It takes a team of talented, dedicated individuals all rowing in the same direction to turn an idea into a reality. But here's the catch. It's not enough to just assemble a group of skilled people. You need a team that gels, a team that communicates effectively, a team that trusts each other implicitly. I've seen countless startups implode because of internal conflicts, communication breakdowns, and a lack of trust among team members. When you're working in a high-pressure environment, with long hours and constantly shifting priorities, even small disagreements can escalate into major problems. That's why it's crucial to build a team that not only has the skills and experience to succeed, but also shares your vision, values, and work ethic. Look for people who are passionate about your mission, who are willing to put in the hard work, and who you can see yourself working with side by side, even when things get tough. And once you've assembled your dream team, invest in building a strong foundation of trust and communication. Encourage open dialogue, create a culture of feedback, and make sure everyone feels heard and valued. Remember, a team that works well together wins together. Chapter 4. Listen and learn the power of customer feedback. You've poured your heart and soul into building this amazing product. You're convinced it's going to change the game, but then, crickets. No one's buying. What went wrong? Well, one possibility is that you forgot to listen to the most important people in your business, your customers. See, here's the thing. You can have the best product in the world, but if it doesn't meet the needs of your target market, it's going to flop. That's why getting customer feedback early and often is absolutely crucial for startup success. But here's where a lot of entrepreneurs go wrong. They ask for feedback, but they don't actually listen to it. They get defensive, they make excuses, they dismiss constructive criticism as being wrong or not understanding their vision. And that's a recipe for disaster. Remember, your customers are the ones who are actually using your product. They're the ones experiencing its strengths and weaknesses firsthand. Their feedback is invaluable, even if it's not always what you want to hear. So check your ego at the door, be open to feedback, and be willing to make changes based on what you learn. Chapter 5. Show me the money, why you need a solid business model. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, money. It's the one thing that can make or break your startup, no matter how brilliant your idea is. You can have the most innovative product, a passionate team, and a loyal customer base. But if you don't have a clear plan for making money, your startup is doomed to fail. It's like setting sail without a map. You might have a great ship, but you'll end up lost at sea. I see this all the time. Startups celebrating millions of users, thousands of downloads, but with no clear path to revenue. They get caught up in the numbers game, thinking that user growth alone will lead to success. They're so focused on growth, on getting users, that they forget about the most important part. How are you going to turn those users into paying customers? It's not just about attracting people. It's about converting them into a sustainable revenue stream. That's where a solid business model comes in. It acts as the foundation upon which your entire business is built. It's not just about having a product people want. It's about understanding how you're going to monetize that product, how you're going to generate revenue and create a sustainable business. You need to think about pricing, sales channels, and customer acquisition costs. And the best time to figure that out is right from the start. The earlier you plan, the better prepared you'll be to face challenges. Don't wait until you've already built your product and amassed a user base to start thinking about monetization. By then, you might find yourself scrambling to find a viable revenue model. By then, it might be too late. The market moves fast, and you need to be ahead of the curve. So, before you even write a single line of code or design a single product feature, ask yourself, how are we going to make money from this? What value are we providing? And how can we capture that value in the form of revenue? What's our revenue model? Is it subscription-based, ad-supported, or something else entirely? Who are our target customers, and how much are they willing to pay? Understanding these questions early on can set you on the path to success. Avoid these startup killers. So there you have it, folks, the top 5 reasons why startups fail and how to avoid them. Remember, building a successful startup is hard work, but it's definitely possible. By avoiding these common pitfalls, you'll be well on your way to building a thriving business. Now, I want to hear from you. What are some of the challenges you've faced as an entrepreneur, and how have you overcome them? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe to CEO Visionary for more real startup wisdom. Until next time, stay hungry, stay humble, and keep hustling.